Hello, my name's Jennifer Parker. I have a PhD in psychology. I've worked in psychology for more than 25 years, and my main interest at the moment is pet bereavement. I've watched quite a lot of videos on YouTube and found them to be, I don't know, quite unpersonal. And pretty low on a lot of really exciting research that's coming to the fore. So I've got a couple of aims for this video. One is it's to introduce me as a pet bereavement therapist. Two is to introduce you to some of the key facts about pet bereavement. I'm going to try and keep this video quite short, and then I'll be following on later with much more useful information. So I had a Husky for 4 years, and I'd owned him since he was 5 weeks old, and he got sick very quickly. I don't have a partner. I'm very happily single, so my dog was my companion, and this particular dog, I really bonded with him in a way that I've kind of never sort of bonded before. We went everywhere together, and we got into our routine, and our days were spent together. So we would spend time doing the things that we love to do every single day. And then he got really sick really quick, and I was told that he had organ failure, which was really devastating to me because he was so young and handsome and beautiful. And he died 3 days before Christmas, 2 years ago. For the first 18 months of that time, I swore never again, I'll never get another dog. And I've only ever had two dogs of my own. Both of them I've had from young puppies until they died. My first one was a German Shepherd. The second one was Gabriel, because I used to call him an angel in a fur coat. I had no idea how relevant that name was actually going to be. So here are some of the things that we know about pet bereavement. My devastation, in which I felt very alone because nobody seemed to understand. Even a lot of my close friends who know me really well, who were trying to be helpful, would say things that really weren't helpful at all. They would say things like, well, he's an angel now, and he's still with you, he's not gone, and get another dog. Just simple, get another dog. That'll help. And for me, I was kind of horrified because they'd say it's just a dog, and my head would go, but he was my everything. They would say time will heal, and I would think I'll never ever get past this. They would say things to me like, he's an angel now, and my thought would be, I just want him here physically, I don't want to know anything about that. So it was initially quite difficult, and I learned some really good coping skills really early on, not necessarily productive ones, but they were ones that kept me safe, in inverted commas, literally doing this. And that was I would tell people before they asked me, because that meant I was in control of the feelings that I was having, rather than the panic I went into when somebody asked me and I wasn't prepared. I also really narrowed down the people that I spoke to people that I knew could actually hear what I was saying without just trying to shut me up and make me feel better. Those two things were really important. And then I went into this long period of grieving, of mourning this beautiful dog that had chosen me to be his forever human. This is Chester. I shall tell you about him in a minute. And that grief was very long and very painful. And out of that, I learned a lot. In another video, I'll share with you a gift that Gabriel gave to me after he'd passed. And that was about 8 or 9 months after his death, but that's for another video. So I started to look into this because one of the things I do personally as well as professionally is I try to understand what I'm experiencing when I meet something for the first time, and a sort of a psychological human dilemma. So I went to the literature, and I found out that I wasn't alone with how I was feeling at all. For a lot of people that lost an animal companion rather than a pet, they felt the same devastation that I did. And they had, in some people, had more pain from the loss of an animal companion than they actually had for the loss of a human being. To some people, that would sound really strange. So that's kind of a warning, really, about who you want to talk to about the depth of your feeling. But for some of us, for some people, the loss of a pet or an animal companion is really the most significant loss we've ever experienced. And there's still so little written about that loss and about how we can kind of move forward. So I'm going to literally be coming back and trying to talk about these things with you. This is a taster. More than 85% of families in America, and it's 70% of families in the United Kingdom, actually have pets. So this is a universal, pretty much universal experience. For a lot of children, it's their first experience of death, of loss. That animal's been part of our family, so we grieve it like our family. So yeah, that I'm going to keep it there for now. I'm going to post this pretty much straight away, and I'll see you all very, very soon. And in that next video, I will have more kind of things that you can do to help you in your grief. I'm going to keep that to acute grief, so not long after the loss of your animal. The one after that I'll do with how to deal with yourself in chronic grief, which is long term, obviously, sometime after you've lost your animal companion. So yeah, take care, goodbye, very nice to meet you, and leave comments below. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to actually talk about, please send me a message or ask them below, and I will do something. I will do a video to actually help and hopefully answer your questions.